multiplier. Okay. So basically, what you have done till now, okay, in your macroeconomics one, okay, I am doing that part multiplier thing for two sector. Okay. So in a two sector model that you have done already, let me revise you something. So it will be easier to understand the notes and the argument also. Okay. So in two sector model, aggregate demand. What is aggregate demand? Demand made by different sector in the economy. Okay. So I am taking two sector. One is household and second is firm. So household will demand consumption, which we call consumption expenditure, and firm will have investment expenditure. Okay. And we have done consumption function already, and you know that Keynes consumption function is non-proportional. C bar plus small c y. Okay. And in two sector model, there is no difference between income and disposable income because there is no government, there is no taxes. Okay. Investment is autonomous. Okay. In equilibrium, aggregate supply must be equal to aggregate demand, right? So y must be equal to c bar plus small c y plus I bar. Okay. What is aggregate demand? It is c plus I. Okay. This thing c plus I. This constitute your demand in the economy. Okay. So I have written that thing. In place of C, I have written this thing. In place of I have written this thing. Okay. Take this term that side. Okay. So it will be y minus small c y. Small c is your MPC. This term. Okay. Equal C bar autonomous consumption, independent of income. This is autonomous investment. Okay. So this will be 1 minus C will be common. Okay. Equal C bar plus I bar. So I can write this as y equal to 1 over 1 minus small c. This is your multiplier. Okay. C bar plus I bar. Okay. And what is multiplier? It is a ratio of change in income due to change in investment. So this is your investment multiplier. Okay. Because consumption function is more or less stable in the short term. Psychological and institutional factor are not changing. So in two sector model, I have only one investment multiplier. Okay, I have only one multiplier, that is investment multiplier. Okay, so what is multiplier? Change in income. What is multiplier? They can ask in the examination also. Okay, what is multiplier? It is a ratio of change in income due to change in autonomous component of aggregate demand. In two sector model, you have only one autonomous component that can change. It is your investment expenditure. Okay, so this will be equal to 1 over 1 minus c. Okay, so this part we have. Let me take photo. So this part is clear to everyone that do thing. Yeah, but the problem is that interpretation. Okay, so let me interpret this thing. Okay, so that when we are going into understanding this acceleration and multiplier togetherness. Okay, you people should understand what is happening. Okay, I don't know you have done working on multiplier or not. Okay, so if you have not done it, okay, I have one video in YouTube. Okay, you should look at that thing. I will send the link. Just last 5-10 minutes. Okay, otherwise I am going to do that for you people also. Okay, I have developed that thing so that you can understand what is actually happening in the business cycle. Okay, like yesterday I talked about the static framework that we have. Okay, so it can only explain the upturn in the business cycle, right? Only upturn it can explain. Why? Because we don't know the timing of investment. Okay, only the volume of investment. Okay, so we can only explain the upturn when it is going to upturn because we can only explain volume of investment. Okay, but actually when it will be going to happen, we are not going to know. Okay, so next period, how much next period is involved, we are not going to know that thing. Okay, so that is the problem we have. Let me interpret this thing. Okay, then you will understand what we are doing. So this is multiplier in two sector model that we have taken out. Okay, I am repeating those who have joined now. Okay, so what is multiplier? It is a ratio of change in income due to change in investment expenditure. So in two sector model, it is this thing. Okay. Notes is already uploaded in the website. So just have a look at it. So when investment increases, understand how I am interpreting this thing. Okay, when investment increases, income increases by multiplier times delta I. Okay, I repeat again. Multiplier I denote by alpha, so let me put alpha better. Okay, so when I say alpha, it means multiplier. Okay, let me repeat again how we interpret this thing. Okay, when your investment increases, okay, income increases by how much? It increases by multiplier times delta I. Is it clear what I have just said? Yes, no? This part is clear, right? When your investment increases, when your investment increases, income increases by how much? Multiplier times delta I. Okay, remember this part. Okay, so when your income increases, increase in income, we need to increase in consumption and saving both. Okay, your consumption increases, saving also increases. And the Keynesian model, I am just talking about multiplier right now, how multiplier is working. Okay, when we are looking at a time period, how multiplier is working, that thing only I am explaining. Okay, so when your consumption increases, okay, what will happen? Aggregate demand increases. So let's look at this thing. Aggregate demand is C plus I. Okay, so first what I have done, let me use 210. Okay, so first I am saying that when your investment increases, here income increases by multiplier times delta I. Why income increases? Because your aggregate demand increases, and you know that in equilibrium Y equal to AD. Okay, so in the first time period, when investment increases by say 100, first time period, your aggregate demand also increases by 100. Okay, when aggregate demand increases by 100 in the first time period, income also increases by 100. Okay, this increase in income in the first time period need to increase in consumption and saving both. Okay, what is consumption? C bar plus small c y. C bar will not change, it is autonomous consumption. Okay, say small c is 0.75, 75%. So when your income increases by 100, by how much consumption increases in the first time period? 75. Okay, in the first time period, consumption will increase by 75. Okay, but when your consumption increases, what is happening? Look at aggregate demand in the second time period. When consumption increases by 75, aggregate demand also increases by 75. When aggregate demand in the second period increases by 75, your income also increases by 75. Okay, so in the second time period, when your income increases by 75, okay, then your consumption will increase by marginal potential consumed times 75. Okay, so this process will goes on until the full value of multiplier is realized. Okay, I will send the video in this regard. Okay, how it works in multiplier, just look at it. Okay, I am going to do this process for you people in terms of investment also. Okay, so here we are looking at when initial investment is taking place. Okay, how it is affecting your income through consumption. Okay, next, in the super multiplier model that we are going to do today, and yesterday we have developed the static framework. Okay, I've given the name of Samuelson directly because I don't want to put on the historical perspective. Samuelson has also provided his model, but it involves net period. Okay, 2 period net, and when I put up that equation, it will be more confusing. So I'm directly doing the Higgs formulation. It will be much easier to understand. Okay, so when initial investment is increased, okay, it will create increase in income. Okay, so on one side multiplier is working. Second, when we look at accelerator, okay, so when your income increases, your demand for capital and goods also increases. Okay, in order to produce more of this output. What is income? It is output. So when your output increases, okay, in the accelerator principle, what is happening? Your demand for capital and goods also increases. That means investment is also increasing. Okay, let me rub this part. Let me take photo. So I am just writing Higgs formulation. Okay, and yesterday I show you that there is no difference between Higgs combination and Samuelson static framework. Okay, because whatever is saving, it will be automatically invested. Let me write that thing. So you have this thing. Okay, one thing is this that I provided. This is your accelerator in the first combination. When demand for consumption goods increases, you require more machine to produce it. Okay, so investment will also increase. This is given by beta. Beta is your accelerator. One you have to remember this part. Okay, and it is discussed by some Penard. Okay, in 1917 about this thing. Okay, Samuelson has developed Superman Dipnaya also in 1-2 time period night. Okay, then Higgs has made improvement and denote accelerator by V. Okay, so I'm not going into detail. Okay, that it is constant capital output ratio that I have done already derivation part. Okay, so it is what. So here, what Higgs is saying that our accelerator, the increase in demand for capital goods, okay, not only depend on increase in consumption, okay, it depend on your entire income, national income. So when national income increases, okay, demand for capital goods also increases, okay. But this thing are same, okay. Like I told you, what is income? Income is consumption and saving, okay. In equilibrium or actual or realized, okay, saving will be equal to investment. Okay, why? Simple, just look at in two sector model, income is what? Consumption plus saving, okay, and aggregate demand is what? C plus I. I am talking about actual realized money, ex post, okay. So consumption plus saving, income must be equal to aggregate demand. This must be equal to C plus I, right? This will cancel out. The saving will be equal to investment. So this part will be automatically fulfilled. Okay. So this thing and this thing means the same thing. Okay. So they are not much different ex post. Okay. So that is what I have discussed in the notes yesterday also. So we are focusing on this Higgs formulation. Okay. So let me write the Higgs formulation directly. So in the Higgs formulation, I have written beta equal change in investment over change in income. Just wait. This is what I have written. Yes, V. I have used the V. Yeah, V for Higgs. Okay. Just to keep that thing in the same format. Okay. This I have written it. Okay. So here what is happening is that when you look at here, multiply times delta I. Okay. So here investment is influencing your income. That investment take place, initial investment, that is influencing your income. Okay. Here increase in output is influencing your investment. That is why it is called accelerator. Okay. So in the accelerator multiplier model, okay, we are looking at impact of initial investment, okay, on output. I am repeating again, impact of increase in initial investment on output, okay, by combining multiplier, okay, as well as accelerator. So we are combining both and looking at the impact of initial increase in investment on output. This you can write in definition. Okay. So let me just put a thing. Okay, consumption, you know. Okay. So this sequence C bar and small c y. So just let me do the bookkeeping thing. This is autonomous consumption independent of income. This is induced consumption. Okay. Why it is induced consumption? You can look at. Okay. This is induced consumption, MPC. As your income increases, consumption also increases. Okay. So this thing you know. Okay. And second thing, let me investment. Okay. Investment, Higgs define. Okay, one is autonomous investment, second is induced investment. Okay, so investment was autonomous investment. A means autonomous investment plus V Y. V is your accelerator that we have done yesterday. Okay, so this is autonomous investment, this is induced investment. How? Just look at it. Change in investment due to change in income is what? V. V is your accelerator. Okay, Y is accelerator. When your income increases, okay, it will cause increase in your investment on capital goods. Okay, that is why it is called accelerator. Or you can say marginal propensity to invest. Remember Keynes one? This is marginal propensity is a technical term to invest. So you can write that thing also. Okay? So this is also called marginal propensity to invest. Okay? Now we know y equal to C plus I in equilibrium. Y equal to C plus I, everybody know. Okay, so I want to look at change in income. Okay, here look at it. When income changes, this remains stable, we never change autonomous part of consumption. So I will take one is induced part. Okay, here this both will change. Autonomous investment will change also. This one plus induced investment part will be changed. Okay, clear? Okay, now look at this term. They have delta y. Let me take this side. Okay, this will be delta y minus small c delta y minus v delta y equal to change in autonomous investment. Just write autonomous investment. Okay, write I also, no issue. So change in output equal, in the bracket you have to write multiplication 1 minus small c minus v delta I A, autonomous investment. Okay, so change in y equal 1 over 1 minus c minus v into this is multiplication in delta I. Okay, this is clear. 1 minus small c minus v. Okay, v is your accelerator. Okay, now before I proceed further, okay, let me do one simple thing. Okay, so income you either consume or save. Okay, I want to look at MPC plus MPS equal to 1. Okay, this thing. So this term is your MPS. That is what I want to show. Okay, so just little bit revision, not much. Okay, just 1 minute, not 1 minute, 30 seconds. So take change on both sides. Okay, divided both sides by change in y. Change in y. This is small c, right? This is marginal. Delta is additional or marginal. Propensity to save. Let me write small s. Okay, this is marginal propensity to consume plus marginal propensity to save equal to 1. Okay, so I can take this term this side. So this will be 1 minus small c equal to MPS. So this term 1 minus small c is your MPS. Okay. This part is important. Okay. Why I have written this, I will explain. Okay. So I'm just writing this thing again here. Okay, for continuity. Change in y equal 1 over 1 minus small c. This is MPS minus v. This is accelerator, and change in investment. This is initial change in investment. Okay, and this is a change brought about by multiplier, and this is a change brought about by our accelerator. Okay. Okay. So this is my super multiplier. Okay, 1 over s minus v. This is small s is MPS. Okay, this heat denoted by Ks. S stands for super multiplier. Okay, this is what we call super multiplier. Super. Super multiplier. Okay, 1 over MPS, or you can write 1 minus small c is your super multiplier minus V. Now, in order to understand, I give you one example. Suppose your MPC is 0.75. Okay, 75% of your income is 100. 75% you are spending on consumption. Okay, given your autonomous consumption. Okay, and this incinerator is say 15%, 0.15. Okay, then what is the value of super multiplier? Take out. And before that, okay, suppose investment, autonomous investment increases by 200. Okay, this autonomous investment increases by 200, then how much is the increase in income? Okay, that I have to find out. Okay, so change in income, this I have to find out, is nothing but 1 over 1 minus small c minus V, change in my investment, autonomous investment. Okay, this is, if my MPC is 0.75, then MPS is 1 minus C. This is 0.25. You can write it, or you can write directly here 0.75. Then this will be 0.25 minus 0.15. Okay, V value. And change in investment is 200. Okay, so this will be 1 over 0.1, 200. So what is the value of my super multiplier? Ks value super multiplier is 1 over 0.1. This will be 1 divided by 10. This will be 10. So value of my super multiplier is 10. Initial increase in investment is 200. Okay, then my output will increase by how much? 2000. Okay, so what happens is that when initial investment increases, okay, the expansion of output intensifies, right? One investment increases by 200, given the value of incinerator and multiplier. Okay, what we see is that output expand, but there is a limit to this expansion. Okay, it come to a halt, or we can say it stop at 2000. Okay, we need to find the reason for that. Why this output stop here? Okay, when I'm making investment, it is expanding, intensifying growth of output. What is the reason for this halt? Okay, that is next what I'm going to discuss. So in terms of graph, okay, let me rub this part. Okay. In terms of graph, okay, with respect to time, I'm looking dynamic path. Okay, time. So when this is this, say this is y1. When income, previous income plus this 2000 increase in income is y1. Okay, so your income is increasing with respect to time. Okay, it will be increasing at decreasing rate, and it is coming to halt. Okay, it is increasing at decreasing rate. So every subsequent period, I will give the example. No need to worry. Everything that I am putting here, it is my responsibility to explain each and every point. Okay, so every successive period, okay, income will be increasing at decreasing rate. Why? First reason. Okay, every time what is happening, if you remember the multiplier thing that I have done, how multiplier is working, every period, okay, part of the income you are saving. Okay, as your aggregate demand increases, okay, through consumption. So when your income increases, part of the income you consume, part of the income you save. So when you are keep on saving, okay, so it is getting leakage from the system. Okay, it is getting leakage from the system. It is not going into the system. Second thing, okay, when your accelerator is working, when your income increases, investment also increases. Okay, as your income keep on increasing, your demand for capital and stock also keep on increasing. When demand for capital and stock increases, marginal efficiency of capital reduces. What is marginal efficiency of capital? It is the expected return on new investment decreases, right? As you keep on investing on capital, demand for capital goods increases. Given the productive capacity, if you remember lecture last one that I have done, okay, given the productive capacity, if demand increases, some of the project will not be useful, so there will be a decline in investment over the period of time. Okay, so that will also start to reduce. Okay, as a result, we see a haunt in the expansion of output, and maybe we will not be able to reach full employment. Okay, then government again has to make this autonomous investment. But this autonomous investment is independent of income. Private sector will not take it. Okay, it is the public sector that has to take it. Okay. Okay. So let me explain the process. Let me take this photo. Okay. If you understand the example that I am just going to do now, okay, then this thing is very clear. No need to worry about that. Okay. And about the multiplier, working of the multiplier, I will send the video. Just look at that part, working of the multiplier. That will be sufficient if you want to understand the process. So time period. Okay. I am not going into cyclical fluctuation argument. Okay, because in KNU they will not ask, and all this theory are outdated. Okay, not used much. Okay, so we only do what is required. Initial increase in investment. Everything is in the notes. Okay, whatever I am writing here, just understand it is in the notes. Okay. Induced consumption. Induced consumption is small c y. Okay, I don't write delta y. Okay, you will understand that. This is a part of induced consumption. Induced investment. Vy. Okay. Then you have increase in income. Delta y. Okay. Then total increase in income. Total increase in income. Okay. Now, so first time period. Okay. First period, my initial increase in investment is 200. Remember the example that I have done? I am just doing that example. Then, when investment increases, okay, look at this one. When investment increases by 200, my directly aggregate demand will increase by 200. Okay. When aggregate demand will increase by 200, in equilibrium y equal to AD, this is increased by 200. My income will increase by 200. Okay. When income increases by 200, it will be distributed between consumption and saving. Remember, okay? Consumption will increase small c y. Small c is 0.75. Income is 200. Okay. So 75 into 200. 0.75 into 200 is 150. So I will write induced consumption is 150. Okay. So initial increase in investment. Okay. Wait. In the second time period it will happen. Because in the first time period, just wait. One correction. Okay. In the first time period, I am making investment. Okay. So first it need to be produced. That capital good need to be produced. So there will be no induced consumption investment. Only income will increase. Okay. By 200. Just wait. Okay. So I am there is one correction. So when you make initial investment, okay, that investment need to be goes, okay, in the production process. Okay, machine need to be made, then money income will be generated. Okay, so in the first period there is no induced consumption, no induced investment. Okay, when your income will increase. Now this income, the thing that I explained, okay, will become part of your induced consumption. Okay, now this income will be distributed. Okay, so this will remain the same. Initial increase in investment remain the same. Okay, so let me repeat one more time what I am saying. There is one typo error I have made. Okay, the thing is that when you are making initial investment, okay, production will increase, okay, income will be generated. Only when this income will be generated, okay, then only you will be having that income will be distributed to the factor of production. Then only your consumption will increase. So in the first period, okay, when initial investment is taken, there will be no these two part, induced part. Only your income will increase. Okay. Once your income increases, what will happen? Your consumption will increase. The same process that I explained. So consumption will increase 0.75 into 200. Okay. So it will increase by 150. Induced investment. This is 0.15. Okay, 15% of income. That means when your income increases, demand for capital goods also increases. Yesterday assumption, remember on the assumption we are using the same. Okay, so you can use the same assumption, same kind of criticism here. Okay, so induced investment will be 15%. Okay, so 15% out of 100 it will be 15, out of 200 it will be 30. So induced investment will be 30. Okay, increase in income. How much will be the increase in income? 150 plus 30, 180. Total increase in income is first period increase is 200, second period increase is 180. It is 380. So you can see it that in the second period, okay, what is happening is that my income is declining. Initial period, okay, investment is 200, income is 200, but in the subsequent period there is a leakage. Okay, there is a leakage happening. Why? Because part of the income I am saving, okay, and there is a growth in capital stock. Okay, so what will happen? Marginal efficiency of capital is going to reduce. Okay, so induced investment is going to reduce. Okay, because your income is reducing, so induced investment is going to reduce. Let's look at next period, then it will be clear. Okay, third period. So how much is the increase in income? In second period, 180. Okay, this income, okay, will be distributed between consumption and saving, right? How much part of your income you are consuming? 75%, 0.75. Okay, so now you will consume 0.75% of 180. Okay, it will be 135. This will be. This is 200. This will remain the same because investment. I am looking at impact of initial investment. This is 135. Okay, 75 and 80 you can draw it because for 200 it will be 150. For 20 you can remove 15. Okay, so then it will be 135. Okay, 0.75 multiplied by 180, you will get it 135. Okay, now as your income decreases, okay, what is happening? Induced investment is going to reduce. What is your induced investment? Investment is autonomous investment plus VY. Okay, so when your income decreases, given your estimator, your investment will decline. Okay, so 15% of 180, how much? 15% of 180, it is 27. So look at what is happening. As the capital stock is growing, marginal efficiency of capital, expected return on new investment is declining. Why? Because your income is declining, your inducement to invest is declining. Remember the equation. So your induced investment is declining also. Okay. Now, how much is your income? Add these two. It is 162. Okay. So increase in income is 200 plus 180 plus 162. It is 542. Okay. So this process will continue. Okay. This will remain 200. This process will continue. Okay. And from our super multiplier, we will come to know where it will be going to haunt. How much will be our increase in income, and that we know. I just took out your change in income. Let me use other pen. Change in income is 1 over S minus V. S is your 1 minus small c over change in investment. So this you get 1 over 0.1. This is 10. Okay, 200. So you get 2000. So when you income change in income achieve 2000, Okay, when this continue and we reach 2000, this process is going to halt. Okay, and there is only two reasons for that. Part of the income is leakage. Okay, why? Because you are not consuming your entire income. Part of the income you are saving, part of the income you are consuming. So you see there is a leakage every time. Your income increases by 180, okay, but you are consuming 135. Okay, so there is a leakage. Also, the accelerator, okay, that is increasing the investment or output. Sorry, output. Okay, when your income increases, investment demand increases. Okay, so it is also reducing. Okay, so from both end we see that there is going to be a hunt. Okay, and maybe this process will stop before we reach full employment. Okay, so this is what we have in the super multiplier model. Okay, so just wait for me.